more analysis on her trip. Let's bring in France 24's UK correspondent, Bénédicte Paviot. Bénédicte, Liz Truss got on a plane for New York just a few hours after the end of the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II yesterday. Tell us a bit more about that.
Well, she's been in office since 2 days before the Queen's death, but this is Liz Truss's first foreign trip. Why is that? Because all government activity, all British politics, was perforce paused till after the funeral, the state funeral, which we witnessed yesterday of the Queen, and indeed her burial and interment here at St George's Chapel. So a lot is riding on this, and Liz Truss has already indicated before, just as she was leaving Downing Street, that she would be meeting the US President Joe Biden. That had been supposed to happen here in London, but then it was changed by Mr. Biden to happening in New York. And interestingly, Liz Truss has explicitly ruled out a post-Brexit trade deal, which the government under Boris Johnson had promised would happen by 2022. And what Liz Truss, his successor, but so new in the job, has said today before getting on that plane to New York and the UN General Assembly, where she'll meet quite a few world leaders, is don't expect a post-Brexit trade deal in the short to medium term. So is that to get in before and make it look like it's the UK's choice as opposed to some sort of snub from Washington? That's interesting in itself. She will be meeting also the French President Emmanuel Macron. And interestingly there, you may remember that she had said during the Conservative contest a few weeks ago, when asked was President Macron friend or foe, she had answered that the jury was out. Well, now she's saying that she wants a constructive relationship with France, and she is saying that she looks forward to meeting and speaking to Mr. Macron because they need to work together on a number of issues, although she doesn't specify what those are. So it's the morning after the state funeral of the Queen. British politics is going to swing back with a vengeance. We're going to get, we think, a fiscal event, a mini budget on Friday from this government, and perhaps more scrutiny on this government's economic plan to support people when inflation is at 10% and the soaring bills of energy, fuel, electricity are absolutely not payable by people. They just can't afford it. So they are yearning to know the detail on this plan.
Absolutely. She has a lot on her plate domestically, for sure. This is her first UN General Assembly, though, as Prime Minister at a time when things are getting difficult at home. But she does also have to focus on international challenges as well. What are going to be the biggest challenges there? The war in Ukraine?
Yes, absolutely. And it is very clear, and she has made it clear again before arriving in New York, just as she was leaving Downing Street. She was saying that in her speech, and of course these are all supposed to be short speeches, she will concentrate, she will focus on rallying support for Ukraine to encourage others. Of course, the UK has been in the forefront of that after America at supplying money and equipment, and she said she's going to match that of her predecessor, Boris Johnson, some £2.3 billion. So the message as far as the war in Ukraine is concerned, very clear. And I think, without too much speculation, we can expect Liz Truss to be going quite soon, at some point, at a date that is not yet announced. It will be at the last minute, probably when she arrives, to go and see President Zelensky in Kyiv herself.
Bénédicte, thank you for that. Bénédicte Paviot reporting for us there from Windsor.